I'm taking the topics as per the syllabus of SPPU or Pune University. Okay. Under this unit number 1, what are the topics, subtopics given? These are introduction, properties of water, estimation of hardness, estimation of alkalinity of water or alkaline hardness. Okay. Then water softening methods, zeolites and ion exchange. Then short note on electrolysis and reverse osmosis. Apart from that, what are the ill effects of using hard water in a boiler? So these are 7 to 8 subtopics. Maximum will be, if you make a short notes, you will find maximum 12-13 short notes will come. In this unit, you may get numerical on hardness estimation, on alkaline hardness, and maybe on zeolites. Okay. So this is the first lecture of unit number 1, water or water technology. So water is known to us. After every few hours, we require water for one or the other reason. Okay. Initial part is section of water, that is also known to you. Okay. The explanation is given by Lewis dot formula. Explanation is given by hybridization concept, and final structure is given by VSEPR theory, valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. It says that water has roughly, this is 90 in this fashion, roughly V-shaped geometry with 2 pairs of electrons on oxygen. Bond angle is 105 degree 4 minutes. Okay, it is roughly V-shaped geometry for water molecule. Now properties are also known to you. Just I am touching the points, like it is colorless, odorless, tasteless. Pure water is non-conductor, but with a dissolved ionic compounds, it is a conducting substance, right? It shows hydrogen bonding. Because of hydrogen bonding, so many water molecules remains in a group or cluster. Then it has high dielectric constant, high dipole moment. Then it has very high capacity to dissolve solute, ionic and polar solute. That's why it is excellent solvent or universal solvent. It shows solvation tendency and so on. It shows anomalous behavior in the range of 0 to 4 degree or 4 to 0 degree, right? Like from 4 to 0 degree, what we are doing? We are cooling water. So on cooling, molecule should come closer. There should be contraction. But from 4 to 0 degree, instead of coming closer, molecule will go away from each other. Same thing happens when we go from 0 to 4 degree. That is, we are increasing temperature. Molecules should go away from each other. Instead of that, there is a contraction. They come closer. So that is anomalous behavior. This part, these properties are known to you. By reading also you can easily manage. Okay. Now go to the first part. That is hard water. Hard water is the first part. Okay. In this introductory lecture, I will touch to hard water. What is the hardness? Then how to express hardness and units of hardness, isn't it? Okay, hard water or even types of hardness. Fine. Types of hardness, how to express hardness, and what are the units of hardness, isn't it? So first part is, what is hard water? Hard water is a one water sample who does not form sufficient amount of lather, sufficient amount of foam on reaction with a soap or on reaction with soap solution. Okay. What is the hardness? This soap consuming capacity of water may be called as hardness. So let us see one simple reaction. I think most of you are familiar with that. It is a reaction of hard water with a soap or soap solutions. What are soaps? Soaps are mostly sodium or potassium salts of higher fatty acids. For example, see stearic acid C17H35COOH. This is stearic acid. H plus of this is replaced by potassium or sodium, that is called sodium stearate. This is a soap molecule. This is there in the soap. Okay. Now this soap, when we react with water containing hardness causing salts, like take case of CaSO4. Okay, this is there in water. This is one salt, one impurity we can say, present in a water in a dissolved form, in a soluble form, responsible for making water hard. When such water containing these salts, certain number of soluble calcium sulfate, allowed to react with soap, what will happen? This is COO minus Na plus, this is Ca2 plus, SO42 minus. To balance this reaction, okay, we'll put 2 here. Now join the opposite ends, negative positive. I will get C17H35COO. This by 2 negative and positive by 2 Ca. Calcium stearate. This is sodium stearate. So this will be now calcium stearate. This is in the form of PPT. Down-headed arrow indicates PPT, or that is called scum. Whitish to yellowish scum get formed. Precipitate get formed. Plus what? It will be Na2SO4. So this is a reaction of soap with a hard water containing so and so, some salts. So if the hard water is containing certain number of salts, hardness causing salts like this, instead of forming foam, instead of forming lather to remove dirt particles, it forms such type of PPT, such type of scum. In that process, lot of soap get wasted. In that process, there is a consumption of soap. So soap consuming capacity of water is hardness of water. Okay. So definition is given as per the reaction of particular water sample with a soap or a soap solution, isn't it? So this is a reaction. Now after complete consumption of this, that water will start forming lather. So it is a consuming soap consuming capacity of water is a hardness. Now go to hard water. What is meaning of hard water? I think you are familiar with that, but as a part of introduction to the topic, let us see this. What is hard water? When water contains certain number of soluble salts, okay, that water is called as hard water. And when such salts are there, it is not forming foam with soap. It is not good for consumption. It is not good for so many purposes. So first point is, what are the names of the salts who are responsible for making water hard? These are mainly carbonates. These are mainly carbonates, then bicarbonates, okay, then chlorides, then sulfates, fine, then nitrates, okay, then few phosphates, few acids, few gases, mainly carbonates, bicarbonates, chlorides, sulfates and nitrates. They all are attached to metal, means metal sulfates, metal chlorides, metal bicarbonates. If I want to write name of, by name if I want to express bicarbonates, it may be calcium bicarbonate, CaHCO3 by 2, or it is magnesium bicarbonate, MgOCO3 by 2. This bi for hydrogen. Okay. Then chlorides, that is CaCl2. Okay. Then sulfate, MgSO4, and so on. Maybe FeSO4 and so on. So many salts are there like this. They are responsible for making water hard. But mostly calcium and magnesium salts are having higher concentration in water. All these components, all these salts, all these impurities are present in a dissolved form, in a soluble form. Okay? When their amount, when their concentration goes beyond certain limit, that water is called as hard water. If their amount is below certain limit, that water is called as soft water, isn't it? So these are the names of the salts who are responsible for making water hard. Okay? All carbonates, bicarbonates, nitrates, fluorides and sulfates, and few more impurity, maybe heavy metal ions. Okay? And so on. Now, types of hardness. First type of hardness is called temporary hard water. Temporary hard water. Okay? This temporary also called as carbonate hardness. Carbonate hardness. This is also called as alkaline hardness. First type of hard water is called temporary hard water. Okay? Means these certain salts are there. They are responsible for making water temporarily hard. For a short period they causes hardness. Okay? That is also called carbonate hardness or alkaline hardness. We will come to these names. What are the names of the salts responsible for making water temporarily hard? These are carbonates. These are carbonates. These are bicarbonates. Okay, and these are even hydroxides. Even hydroxides are also responsible for making water alkaline. Okay, higher concentration of these two are there, bicarbonates and carbonates. Okay, in that too again bicarbonates are there to more concentration in most of the water. Okay, so this, suppose this bicarbonate is there, this is bicarbonate, calcium bicarbonate is there in water. Okay, now it is temporary hard water, means it is there in water for short period, okay, for some time, or it can be easily removed. How this can be removed? If this bicarbonate, by name it is calcium, is there in water, when you heat that water, what will happen? It will form precipitates of corresponding carbonate. Bicarbonate present in water, on heating that water, it will form CaCO3, it will form carbonate PPT, plus what? It will form H2O plus CO2, right? This PPT we can separate by filtration. Whatever left is a soft water. Means by boiling and filtration we can remove this hard water causing salts. Okay. Similarly, if my water is containing magnesium bicarbonate like this, if this magnesium bicarbonate is there in water, on heating or on boiling the water, it will form corresponding hydroxide plus twice CO2. It will form corresponding hydroxide in the form of PPT, in the form of precipitate. That can be easily removed. Okay. Now, this hardness also called carbonate hardness, because concentration of this is there, who on heating forms CaCO3. That's why it is called carbonate hardness. This will not form carbonate directly. It will form hydroxide, because corresponding carbonate of this is more soluble. It requires more concentration of these to form the PPT. So it will form this first. Again reaction with H2 and CO2, it will form corresponding carbonate, isn't it? So this is carbonate hardness. This carbonate is very insoluble compared to magnesium carbonate. CaCO3 is very insoluble. What is meaning of that? Meaning of this is that if my water is containing this only calcium bicarbonate, and if I am taking the water in a container or in a say plastic bucket or a mug, and if I keep it overnight, you will find without heating, without boiling, this will form this PPT. This will form corresponding carbonate. So that is most insoluble one. Immediately or easily it forms precipitate. But this bicarbonate, it is comparatively more soluble. So directly it will not form MgCO3. It will form this. This on reaction with H2O and CO2 again will form magnesium carbonate. This type of hardness is also called as alkaline hardness, because these carbonates, these bicarbonates and hydroxides are responsible for making water alkaline, are responsible for keeping pH of water above 7, even up to 14. That's why it is called as alkaline hardness. So hardness, simple, I think it is familiar to you. First is temporary, also called carbonate, also called alkaline hardness. Who all are responsible? Carbonates, bicarbonates, hydroxide. But in different types of water, concentration of these bicarbonates are found to be more or maximum compared to hydroxides and carbonates. Okay. Second type of hard water is called as permanent hard water. Yeah, permanent hardness. Permanent hardness. It is also called as non-carbonate hardness. Okay, or also called as non-alkaline hardness. Also called as non-alkaline hardness. Fine. So other than carbonates, other than bicarbonates, all the salts, if they are present in water, they will be making water permanently hard. They will be responsible for making water permanently hard. What are these? These are mostly chlorides, these are mostly sulfates, these are mostly nitrates, okay? These are heavy metal ions and so on. So carbonate, bicarbonate here, chlorides, sulfates, nitrates, even few phosphates and heavy metal ions, soluble heavy metal ions are there for making water permanently hard. And this 1 plus 2, that is temporary plus permanent, is called as total hardness. Is called as total hardness. Okay. So in this initial lecture, we will make two parts of this introduction. Introduction 1 and 2. Introduction 1 will just brief idea of what is hard water and types of hardness. Okay. In the next lecture, we will see how to express hardness of the introduction, how to express hardness, and what are the units of hardness.